Grab my whiskey. I'm trying to get drunk.
We don't care what R. Kelly did.
Did I say anything racist this time?
You better get out of here, honky.
And now for something completely different.
I got moves, man.
Well, two honks and Kim just messing around. You'll never know what they talk about on two honks. Two honks and Kevin. You might hear something about the NBA. Maybe they'll just make your day on two honks and Kevin. It's sports and life and family too. Let's all listen to two honks and a Kevin. Yeah! Just crap my pants.
All right, it is April 6th, 2022. You just heard Blake's delicious cough. I forgot he wasn't muted. But don't mind that.
Just COVID, no big deal.
Let's go. It's not COVID. It's
It's not COVID. No, it's not COVID.
and then we got Kevin sitting in his limo.
Dude. I mean, my boys
No hate on the
made
skylight.
it.
Yeah. No hate on the skylight,
Yeah.
bro.
Got that got
Yeah.
that promotion there. And just
Yeah. Life of luxury right here.
that's management right there, just chilling.
Yes, sir.
it. That's where that raise went.
That's right.
Oh.
So I think the big topic of discussion tonight is probably going to be a little bit less political. So I think all three of us watched at least some of WrestleMania. So yeah, man. So I think we're gonna have a little bit of discussion on that. So if you don't like wrestling, you might as well just click this shit off now because that's kind
bro. Bro.
It doesn't matter if you like it or not.
Yeah. Hey, with the amount of listeners that we have, if half of our crowd goes, man, I don't know how many listeners we have.
Yeah, if a tree falls and
It's gonna be two left.
yeah,
Oh man! Hey, we appreciate all you faithful listeners out there, though.
We do love it.
My dad and Landon, so far is all I know. What's up? Shout out, and my boy
We do love
KPZ. I think he listens, and Lindsay. I got some listeners out there. I think
See?
Lindsay still listens.
got
so,
some.
yeah.
Yeah, I got
But she won't hear this because she done clicked it off right when you said
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, well, excuse me, boys are boys, and look, man,
Yeah.
it's WrestleMania. Even people that don't watch wrestling, my friends that do not watch wrestling, don't give a shit about wrestling. Text me when comes. It's like a Marvel movie. When a Marvel movie comes out, I get text messages about stuff. So it's the same thing with WrestleMania. So and that's cool. I don't mind it. I'm happy to oblige.
Well, but see that tells you they're doing well. Like when I get text messages about UFC fights, it's like, okay, they've hit like I'll get certain text messages. Hey, yeah, exactly. And when those casuals hit me up, it's usually a Conor fight. Honestly, Conor McGregor's really the only one right now that I get.
John Jones.
Yeah, well, yeah, whenever he fights, I guess. But
yeah.
But yeah, so my brother-in-law came over, Dirty. He came over and we and we watched it. And dude, so we had that going on in the North Carolina and Duke game. So I had the fights up on my computer, and then I had the game on my big TV right here in my garage. And it probably about 30 minutes into it, I flipped it. I put the game, which was incredible. The game was back and forth. It was absolutely incredible. But man, like the WWE product, and this is what I was so impressed with. It took two guys, me and Dirty, who don't watch, and we immediately were hooked. We were immediately hooked on the storylines, and honestly, I was so impressed with with Logan Paul. Like I don't know what you thought. But you know how it is when like you got these one-off guys that kind of get in the ring, you can tell when they're a rookie. Like, I mean, he looked like he's belongs there. You know what I'm saying? So, so that's one topic I was going to ask you because I'd actually heard Logan. I actually heard his most recent podcast because he had two wrestlers on there, and I kind of wanted to hear what they had to say, and because it was right in the middle of the WrestleMania thing. Uh, uh, but he made it sound like he didn't know a lot of the stuff that was going to happen. That he really didn't practice the moves, and he not so much he, but the guest that he had on, which was two females. Do you know who it was?
I don't know who he had on. No.
Okay, he is it Beck?
Is it Becky Lynch?
Becky Lynch.
Yeah, Becky Lynch, which I ended up, really liking. But like even while she was talking like she didn't know what the outcome was going to be for her match. Is that true? Like, I mean, surely
A lot of
know,
them,
right?
Richard. A lot of them, like they pick, right. Like a lot of them will script some stuff. Like I've heard a lot of guys like to outline some stuff. Some really professional guys like to impromptu and just go into it, and some people like to do a full script amount. So I think it's basically who you working with, right?
It depends upon who you work with. A lot of the matches are called so typically what you have is you have what's called a ringleader, and typically that's somebody like a Becky Lynch, who, if you watch carefully, you'll see her telling her opponent, like, duck my clothesline or do this,
Right.
do that. So a lot of those moves are called mid-match. There are some rehearsals done on occasion. I know Undertaker was pretty big about rehearsing on his matches for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
There's a few guys that like to kind of just rehearse some of the moves, but for the most part, yeah, it's all the matches are for the most part unscripted matches. They just go out and they have a producer that basically gives them the highlights. You have these things you need to hit. Other than these things, the rest of the 10 minutes is yours. So you have like a producer that produces your match for you, and the two wrestlers will sit down with them, and you'll kind of go over, okay, this is how we want to tell the story of this match, and these are the hits we have to have. So we say, okay, we're going to go out the ring, and then I'm going to do this kind of thing to you. But then for the most part, the rest of it is not, and it's not really even choreographed per se in that way. It's just like, these are the things we have to make sure we hit, right? Well, I have to put you through an announcer table. I have to hit you ladder. I have to do this top move, moonsault. Like,
and somebody keeps them on time, right?
The referee does. He's got an earpiece in his ear, and he'll tell him. He'll either end the match, and also if there's a change on the match winner, he'll be told in his ear, and he'll let the wrestlers know mid-match if there's just a weird decision mid-match to change the winner. That happened during the first match, actually, of the night. From what I understand, the championship belt was supposed to change for the tag titles, and then Rick Boogs got injured, and they called the audible, and the Usos still won it.
Wow.
So it does happen on occasion.
I think that's the stuff that's so fascinating about the sport. I mean, just kind of hearing the wrestlers, because like the Becky Lynch, she was talking about how somebody came out with an entrance, had a whole band, and she was like,
that's who she wrestled, Bianca Belair.
Okay, there you go. And that's what she was saying. She's like, it wasn't even fair. I didn't know she was gonna do that. I didn't know if they were gonna attack me with the trumpet or what part, but as in like she didn't know where the match was gonna go. Like, am I eventually gonna get hit with the trumpet? That's kind of what her point was, and but I was just so like fascinated by that aspect of it, because I was like, hold on, you're gonna tell me you guys aren't practicing this? Like, especially with Logan, like when the very first time he got tagged in, he did this sequence and boom, 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 and then he was out of the ring. And I looked over at Justin and I said, dude, I bet he practiced that over and over and over again. And that was his first, this is your right. But then the match goes on and he
doesn't have to, because the Mysterios are telling him what to do. Okay, swing at me, I'll duck. Okay, do this. And like they are quickly telling him what to do.
So I've always known that, but is it like if you're training boxing, someone says throw a 1-2, do they have, just like you said, duck under clothesline? Then they know, okay, you're gonna dunk under mine, and then I'm gonna clothesline you, so it's all like this
counter my Irish whip, or duck under the clothesline, or it'll just be a really quick. And some of the guys too, they have like visual clues they'll give you. So sometimes during the match, like in the producers, they'll say, hey, when you see my touch my shoulder 3 times, I'm about to do this move.
Okay.
So there are certain outcomes and things that they do they worked on that. But it's still impressive, you know, that Logan was able. It's impressive that he was able to do it. It's very good.
Yeah.
We've seen so many junk uh celebrities, you know, just
Oh yeah.
go out there and not really, obviously not be able to perform at all. But I think WWE has done really well in this instance and in the past couple of years with kind of picking out people that care a little bit more,
Yeah.
especially the fans, because I know like last year they had Bad Bunny out there, and apparently he was
Yeah.
like a huge fan of wrestling, so he went out and he really tried. Um, so, and I think
What?
they do probably practice a little bit. Like they probably do get in the ring and practice. They may not practice that match in its entirety, but they certainly do practice some of the moves.
Yeah, I
It's
would
more
think so. I mean,
impressive that it's more impressive that they tell that story with like they practice the moves. They just don't. It's not as scripted as you would think. It's
Right.
just impressive that they tell the story that way without a lot of practice and a lot of the script.
Yeah.
now, so are there wrestlers that go into a match and as they're wrestling, they don't know if they're going to be the winner or not?
For the most part, you know who the winner or loser is going to be before a match. That's predetermined. It's discussed and it's done in the production meetings with whoever's producing your match. Like I said, there have been instances where the match, for some whatever reason, the title or the match flips if Vince is watching something and he thinks
Maybe the crowd's going
either crowd
towards that one.
reaction or the other wrestlers
Yeah.
doing so well, they're like, you know what, let's put this guy over. You know, he was
Yeah.
supposed to lose this match, but let's go ahead and give him a little bit of a victory here.
Yeah, like even I heard Pat McAfee talking about it, and I guess the whole Vince McMahon thing wasn't planned. Like that
No.
was just impromptu. The Stone Cold Stunner wasn't planned.
No,
Like-
well, they didn't even know that Stone Cold was going to be there. Like it was legit. Like
Because that was the second day,
Stone
right?
Cold, Stone Cold told them I might be there. Like that was his answer to them when they asked him if he would be there at night too. His answer was I might. So there was no plan for sure whether or not he would be there. Also, McAfee also said he did not know the cheerleaders would come out with him. He had no idea.
Yeah.
What was happening.
Yeah.
There's a lot there. He was not aware.
I just, like I said, for something to be live and then, you know, broadcast to
Big
so
too.
many,
Yeah.
to so many, it's I always get jazzed. I've realized this is that any major event it gets my interest. Like Dirty and I, we're like, dude, every year we're watching WrestleMania. Like I won't watch a single, you know, other event probably, but I'll watch WrestleMania because it's like watching the Masters or Wimbledon or, you know, the Super Bowl or whatever. But
yeah, that's your season finale for wrestling there anyways. Like that's the culmination of the year's work.
Yeah. Well,
not only that, it makes it cool that you knew the storyline when you watched it.
Yeah.
Like that's what makes it so cool about it. You don't have to watch it all year. You can turn it on and figure out everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy?
Mm-hmm.
What the story was right there.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it just sucked us in, and we had no idea Stone Cold was wrestling, not a clue, because we're such casual fans, you know. So we looked at each other, and we were like legitimately so excited that Stone Cold was about to wrestle, because that's when we were really into it. So
they kind of kept that under wraps. There was no clarification or whether or not he was like. There was an assumption he's probably going to wrestle since it was a main event thing. There was assumption, but there was never he's going to wrestle.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I think maybe that may have even been a day of decision by him too.
Really?
So yeah, who knows?
I had no idea. It's been 19 years since he's wrestled.
He's like 59 or something, isn't he?
I couldn't believe it. I was like, no way. Like, no way it's been that long.
Yep.
Like, dude, we old, bro. I just thought he had come back and done some one-offs and stuff like that, you know, just kind of stuck around. But he was gone.
Yeah, he was done when he was done. Like he was beat all to hell. Like if you watch his I don't know, Kevin, you watch those, what were they, the A&E documentaries where they talked about like his injuries? It's like he was done. Like there was no way, you know. I'm surprised he did this, but
I know, especially 2 nights in a row, and that's I know it's quote unquote fake, but dude, he took a freaking
suplex on concrete, man.
Yeah, I know. I literally, Justin and I were freaking. I was like, dude, it's on concrete. He's like 50 100 years old. Why is he? Why? Like you're coming back for a reason. Like play it safe, but instead he's getting suplex on concrete. It's like what are we doing?
And
So funny.
Kevin Owens is one of those wrestlers too, where he's like he's a tough wrestler. Like he's one of those guys that when you go out with a match with Kevin Owens, you're probably gonna get your ass kicked, like legit.
Yeah.
Like he's
I mean, that's the other thing. Like you could tell some of the hits. I mean, they're real. Like they're making contact. Like of course, some of them are beyond fake or whatever. But it's like you could tell some of those punches. Obviously they're not hitting full force. At the end, but like you got to sell it. You got to make contact. So
I think he was the one that headbutted Vince McMahon and busted him open too. Like,
oh really?
Kevin Owens did.
He was good on the mic too.
Yeah,
he's real good on the mic. Yeah.
He's one of the best ones. Speaking of Vince McMahon, how jacked was that dude when he took off his? I mean, he's old man jacked.
It's insane, man.
Did you guys see the video where he's squatting like 1,000 pounds?
Dude, that's insane.
76 years old.
Yeah, to be that old, he looks pretty good for 76. That's impressive. To still look that jacked, I guess.
Steroids.
I mean, how many 76-year-olds feel confident enough to strip down to their tank top and wrestle another young grown man?
Right? Yeah.
And Pat McAfee.
Dude,
I was the second night got a little boring for me. And I'm sure that's probably I would assume that's what a lot of people would say.
Yeah, that was the consensus that night one was definitely better. Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes when you watch with somebody, it's always better. And I watch Sunday night alone. So it just, sometimes it kind of loses the excitement. So
here's what was boring. And this was what I think I was stating throughout the night. The Edge versus AJ Styles match was 24 minutes long.
It was so long.
Dude, that
Why?
dragged. I fell asleep in the middle of that. After we text, I fell asleep.
It was so boring. The next longest match was the main event of that night, Roman Reigns versus Brock. And that was 12 minutes.
And I thought that fight lacked the excitement, like the who's gonna win type of feel. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't on I also fell asleep and woke up and all that, but because it was on so late. But and maybe I'm just dude. I was about to go off. Hold on. Is Ronda Rousey a good wrestler?
Yeah.
Really?
She's all right.
Yeah, she is. That match was kind of sloppy.
Yeah, it was a lot of leg locks and
you know what? I think Charlotte's matches tend to be kind of just messy. Like
really?
They're almost like watching her wrestle is almost like watching two people fight for real that are not like trained. You know what I mean? It's like it's like they're trained, but it's like almost as real looking as you can get with wrestlers. Like it's
a lot of slaps and chops and
and very messy moves. Like
it felt like a sloppy MMA fight.
Yeah,
with some acrobatics thrown in the mix, but I was kind of surprised they didn't have Ronda. Go ahead, Kevin.
On the other side of that, the Belair and Becky Lynch was really good.
I mean, that storyline alone's been going on since last SummerSlam. Like it's been going on for 7 or 8 months.
Since Lynch came back,
and she beat.
That was probably the best outfit Becky's worn too.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't even see. I don't even remember. I don't remember watching that match. I think there was one girl fight that I just kind of walked away and started doing something else for a minute. But I liked her on the podcast, and he had the black girl with the blue hair,
Sasha Banks.
Yes, he had her on there too. Logan Paul did. So I just happened to catch those today. But Becky seemed like it's just like anything. Like even some of these MMA fighters, like once you hear them talk normal, it's easy to like a character, or a human being. But.
Yeah, I thought this year's WrestleMania was pretty entertaining for the most part, minus a few matches.
Did they ever say how much the setup cost? I thought that was the best setup that I've seen them have too, as far as the stage.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it's millions of dollars. Like it's
that had to be ridiculous.
I don't know.
Imagine. Can't imagine what
Right.
they. I can't imagine what all goes into it. Like how many employees it takes. How much money, renting out the place. What they have, about
Building.
75,000 in attendance.
I have it here. I did have it, and then I lost it. It's on the Wikipedia page here.
My favorite part was when Stone Cold, I think it might have been his first line. He says, "In about 5 seconds, you're gonna have 75,000 people calling you an asshole," and then just everyone just starts chanting it. I'm like, God, it's just so like that's what makes you love wrestling. Like someone that is just so like him and The Rock, man. They were so good on the mic. They brought you in. They made you laugh. They're just that gift of gab.
For sure.
Yeah.
So
And-
night
and-
one had 77,899. Night two had 78,453.
Man, that's
Did you have to
crazy.
buy separate tickets for that if you
Yes, you did.
didn't? Woo!
Dang.
There are,
So
people, there are people that bought a ticket to SmackDown. There are people that bought both tickets to WrestleMania and a ticket
And Raw.
to Raw.
for Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
Boy, you a big
And they
fan.
did the fan stuff where like
Access.
taking a picture was like $25
And it was
yeah.
$10 just to get into that.
Yeah.
Just get in.
I watched some TikToks on that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I bet none of those people are married.
A lot of people think they're kids.
I bet they're very single men.
I did watch some TikToks of after, like I guess they let people like kind of walk on the stuff when it was deconstructed, and these guys are out there with their title belts and showing all that stuff. That's pretty cool.
Oh,
Those
Yeah.
cost a lot too.
It seems like I'm always like, I've never been to a WrestleMania,
right.
but it's one of those things where I would like to go to a WrestleMania, but it looks
for sure.
exhausting.
Yes, and boring. I would.
Yeah.
That's something I was gonna say. Like, I bet in the crowd. I mean, I went when I was a kid. That's kind of a funny story we have about me growing up. Is that my grandma took me to to WWE or WWF at that time, and she had talked about how much she enjoyed it. Well, she didn't know that match that we were at was going to be televised, and you can actually see us. And she looks so bored. So that was always the family joke that grandma loved it, but then we saw video of her. But yeah, I do remember that it is a little bit boring because you're not being entertained by the commentating.
Right. For a while, there was talk about putting the commentators on a radio frequency and letting people listen while they watch.
I think that would help.
That would be kind of cool. But yeah, it's just basically all you're doing is you're kind of, if you can see the wrestlers, if you're up close, you're kind of watching it. But for the most part,
that's what I was about to say.
You're just staring at the Titantron or the
I
TV
know.
the whole time. I think the
That's
coolest
all
part is if you're a social creature, right? It'd probably be fun. Like, you're out there, you're screaming, you're having a good time with everybody else, and you're just interacting. I would say
Yeah.
that's pretty fun. But that wouldn't be something I'd be interested in doing. So
Yeah,
they wait longer than what you think, right?
what's that?
Between like breaks and like I don't think WrestleMania would have been like that, but like on the
They have
shows,
commercial
the
breaks.
shows are,
Yeah. If you go to Raw and SmackDown, yeah, and you are inundated with advertisements, like just
yes.
constant advertisements at those
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah, those they're
Snickers.
getting commercials at those shows just like we get commercials.
Yep.
Yeah, the UFC's like that. I've been to a couple UFCs. It's the same way. You're just kind of chilling. You're listening to music in between fights, and you got all types of commercials and stuff going on. But UFC is a good event to go to live.
Yeah, they were here in Indy once. It's been years.
Yeah,
we went down there, didn't we? Didn't I go down there with you, Blake?
Sadly, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you one detail from that event.
It had
That's how
to
bad my
be 10
memory is.
years ago. Like, it is a long time.
Yeah,
ago.
it was a long time ago.
It was like
Yeah,
when
I'm
you
trying-
first started going outside of Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. They're all over the place now.
Yeah.
Speaking of going to live shows, Richard and Jared will be going to Mark Norman.
That's
for
right.
Anybody out there that knows him?
Yep.
He's funny,
Saturday
man.
night. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the
He's-
second time I'll have seen him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, originally my wife was gonna go, but she didn't really like him, so she was like, you know what? I don't really want to go. So I said,
Really?
fine.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
a
cool. Yeah.
little bit too vulgar for her taste. So
Yeah.
I
I'll
Yeah.
take Mueller.
He's not that bad, but yeah.
Oh,
You
dude,
should.
he was rough that night. I was
Oh,
like,
was he?
looking over like, oh, he's typically not like this. Like usually
Oh,
there's one or
really?
two jokes in there, but not like all night. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I tend to like, I mean, I don't mind, the quote unquote raunchy guys, but sometimes it's like, man, dude, like this would be better if you weren't cussing every other word. Like you're,
oh yeah,
you're hurting yourself. Like yeah. Do you know who Nate Barbarsky is?
I've heard him on the radio before.
Okay, he's clean, and I just listened to his last two specials. Your wife would probably like him, but he's kind of got like kind of a dry personality. He
Mhm.
just talks real calm, but he's just I don't know. He kind of cracks me up.
Is he the guy that also raps?
No,
No, okay,
I
yeah,
don't know. At least I don't think so.
okay, yeah.
Um,
Surprisingly enough, who she liked a lot was T.J. Miller.
I don't
Really?
know him that well.
Yeah,
No, I've heard him.
like super clean. Like I was surprised how clean he was.
Oh,
Like,
really?
yeah,
Mike Miller,
T.J. Miller.
TJ Miller.
TJ Miller. I'm not sure I know him.
Yeah.
Mike Epps has one out on Netflix.
Mhm.
You know
I
who that
watched that, and I watched Earthquake one this past Friday.
So let's talk about that real quick because I tried to watch Mike Epps last night. For those of
Yeah.
you that don't know, he's from Indiana, and the special's kind of talking about Indiana. I kind of got like 10 minutes in, and I was just like, I'm kind of over this. Did you feel that way, or did it get better?
It wasn't. I mean, I'm not really a big Mike Epps fan anyway, but it was decent for what it was. I mean,
Okay.
it was decent to get a couple. It's a Netflix special. It was decent for a couple laughs.
Yeah.
But yeah, he talked about growing up in Indiana and being around here. So I think, and he got presented with a lot of awards and stuff at the end. So it
Oh,
was a
really?
decent one. Yeah,
Yeah. What'd you think of Earthquake?
Earthquake one. I liked Earthquake just because
Yeah.
that's who my dad used to listen to.
Oh,
So it was like
really?
you grew up with that, and for him to, it was actually kind of cool for him to actually have his first special.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I feel like I've been used to the unclean, the unclean
Comedy.
comedy for so long. I just feel like African American comedy is just that way.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard a comedian that's not saying MF this and F that, and like I've never had it.
And then the N
So
word,
it's
like every the
yeah,
the
yeah.
N word is like a
I don't
pause.
I don't know if your parents had this. I remember my parents had the comedy records with like Red Fox and Richard Pryor and all that stuff, and that's all you heard.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's
It
just
was just
and
raunchy.
and there seems to be excuse
And
me.
they said worse stuff than the N word. You
Oh,
know
for
what I'm saying?
sure.
They
Yeah.
way yeah.
Are the biggest comics black?
You
Doesn't
mean
it feel that way?
um I'm
Right?
trying to run through my brain here in
I
terms of
know.
I mean it,
I
I
Well,
would
you
mean
I
got
would I would
Chris
throw
Rock
Chappelle, Kevin Hart. Like
and
I'm just saying like today
yeah,
who's the most popular?
and,
Chappelle,
and
Kevin Hart.
Chris Rock, Eddie Murphy. Wasn't he a comedian for a while?
He
yeah,
was, but I mean I would say he's more in them just movies now. I wouldn't put he's
How
not doing
about
any. I'm just talking about people who do stand up.
how
that's
about
I put Joe Rogan in that.
but see, I think Joe Rogan's big because of everything else.
Yeah, I think so
You know what
too.
I'm saying? Like I would put maybe Jeff Foxworthy
I mean you got
or
Bill Burr, you got
yeah,
Yeah, Bill
you got
Burr.
Jerry Seinfeld,
there you go.
Yeah,
Burt Kreischer, uh
Yeah, Tom Segura.
Tom Segura. I mean you
Ooh,
have quite
the
a few.
goat, Bill Cosby.
We don't talk.
that's more TV though,
We
man.
don't we cool with R. Kelly, but we ain't cool with Bill Cosby.
Hey, that's your boy.
I know.
That's the boy
I
with a
know.
shirt that said that. Okay.
I know.
I did not say that.
I know. I always laugh when I hear that intro. It cracks me up.
I would say like yeah. There's a whole bunch of them. Once they hit mainstream, they don't go back to stand up. So I'm just talking
Richard
about like
Pryor.
the pure stand ups people. So
Yeah. Richard Pryor, he's a black gentleman, right? I hear that name a lot.
Yeah, he's long gone though. Like
Is
he's
he? Well,
long
I
gone,
know, but I'm
man.
just talking about
Yes.
like, I mean, I mean, you talk about long gone. I did mention Bill Cosby. I mean,
Yeah,
he's not even allowed to mention his name anymore. I don't think.
but I mean, I feel like I've gotten more interested in it just because of the whole slap thing. Because a lot of comedians are speaking out, and like almost like it's changed
Oh,
comedy and
dude,
what.
did you
But I
hear?
mean, I've seen
Uh,
it before that. Like I'll watch a whole bunch of YouTube of hecklers just going off, and it's just like, who goes to a comedy show just to argue with the comedian?
Yeah,
Like you go there
and
for
when
a
you
good
see
time.
and when you see them comedians just light them up, it's like
It's
you kind of
awesome. It
admire
is
the talent.
awesome.
Oh,
It
I
is
know.
awesome.
Go ahead, Richard. What was you gonna say?
I was gonna say, I was reading an article today where Jada Pinkett basically threw her husband under the bus.
What
It's,
happened?
she basically says she doesn't need him to do that because she's not a wallflower. Like basically, like just not even supporting him.
Dude,
I,
I feel sorry for Will. I mean, God. Because
Man.
if it wasn't for her, he sure wouldn't have done that. He would
yeah,
have laughed it off. So I mean, dude, we need free Will shirts
pretty well.
Free
Yeah,
will.
instead of free Britney.
yeah.
Right under my free cane.
Yeah, for real. Shout out to Cain
Uh,
Velasquez. Yeah. Yeah. I do tend to listen to a lot of that. I excuse me, I listen to a lot of comedian podcasts. So I've really kind of got to, be familiar with a lot of these comedians. And a lot of them I don't even really watch their specials or even care about their specials. I mean, I always tune in or whatever, but like Bert Kreischer, like I've heard his specials and I think they're pretty good, but like he's just
I
he's
love
just
Bert Kreischer, dude.
yeah, he's nuts. Do you like him better than Tom?
It's close. I mean, I was
Yeah.
really bummed when I didn't get to go to his drive-in
sure.
show.
Yeah.
And then I think Tom sold out, so I
Yeah.
didn't get tickets. So
Tom,
I'm really bummed about that. But
they're both killing it, man.
it's
Don't you think that it came back within the last couple of years though, like with podcasts and YouTube and stuff like that? Like it teared off for a little bit, and now like all of a sudden it's just like back,
Yeah.
maybe, yeah. I mean, I think
like
for the
right before COVID.
podcast, yeah. I mean, because that's what they had to do. I mean, I've always enjoyed listening. I mean, I think I listen to comedy every day in some way,
Hell
shape,
yeah.
or form, comedians and so I've always done it. But I think the podcast thing has kind of helped them. COVID especially kind of forced some of them into that, ethos.
Yeah. And you'll hear like Bobby Lee, Theo Vaughn. I mean,
Mm,
they talk about how like they had no clue that this would help their career so much. But
mhm.
it
They
does
thought it was
because
over.
and honestly, it's why Joe is so successful. You get to hear who they are, literally
Hmm.
hear them talk, and then you can judge them. Like you're I mean, they are so open. Like it's amazing some of the stuff that comes out of their mouths. But and a lot of these comedians have jacked up backgrounds, and they talk to other people about it, and then other people will open up to them about how their life was and how their views are, and it's just genuine. I think that's why so many people gravitate towards it. So it's interesting to see how it's helping their career so much. Tim Dillon, y'all know Tim Dillon.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I heard somebody was talking about he was making $250,000 a month just
Mhm.
from YouTube, just from doing his YouTube stuff. I mean, that's big money,
Hey, it's a
especially
lot.
for a comedian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
Must be
that's a lot of money.
nice.
that must be. I can't.
God
$250 a
dang
year.
it.
I can't even
I could
talk.
be I can be funny, I mean, come on. I can
Go
write
ahead
some
and start,
material.
Blake. We'll
I would
support
think
you.
so.
We
I'm
want
a,
to see you do stand up.
Oh, could you imagine?
yeah,
I
Yeah.
mean, because we kind of talk about it at work. We got a guy named Scott there who, I mean, he can light up a room just with one liners. And I've always been able to kind of do one liners or make a funny pun or whatever. But to do stand up, to actually tell a story and to write it out and have you can't hit your punchline too soon. I mean, I think I could probably do that if I really had a funny story to tell. but they talk about it being one of the hardest things in the world to do, is to get in front of people and try to make them laugh.
Yeah, I've heard them talk about how like it's not just about saying a funny thing. Like sometimes you'll have a joke, but then you need to restructure the joke so that you have X amount of syllables in front of the punchline. And I mean, I've heard
Yeah.
sentence structure is very important. I've heard,
Yeah.
Cadence is extremely important. Just it's
Cutting out the fat.
Yep, it's wild.
Yeah, it really is. It's and when you hear it done well, it's like a bar. It's like a rap verse. When they start out here, they go here, and then in the end they tie it all back in. To the first syllable they rhymed with or whatever. It's just it's pretty cool to see. So.
And it's different every night. It's like when we saw that Chappelle documentary when he was coaching old girl on there. Basically, it was like she told the same joke on 2 different nights, and there was 2 different completely reactions, and there was 2 different ways that she said it. Yeah. That's what.
Well, and a lot of the comedians will say that too. Is that like one night you'll say the joke and it kills, everyone's dying, and the next night you say it the exact same way. And depending on the city, depending on the town, depending on like the religious beliefs of that area, or whatever, like people will either laugh or they won't laugh. It's just, so it's kind of like, it's just interesting to kind of hear, I guess, the struggles of just trying to make people laugh,
Yeah. Every comedy show I've been to has been pretty well received. And I would dare say Indy's probably a pretty decent town for comics because I've never heard a heckle. I've always heard laughs. I've always heard the comedian mention how good of a crowd it is.
Really?
So I would dare say that Indianapolis is probably a decent town in terms of comedian reception.
It's been pretty popular. I mean, that Helium is that where Mark Norman's going to be?
Oh yeah, I've been watching. Yeah, a lot of the shows I go to has been Helium. It knocks Crackers out of the. Is it Crackers Comedy Club?
Yeah.
It's far better. Than that place for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. It's cool. A lot of people, a lot of comedians are coming through here.
Well, the thing about the Helium too is they're a franchise. So if you get a deal structured with the Helium, you're traveling across the country for 15, 20 shows. So you're going up East Coast, Midwest.
Oh, nice.
You're doing shows.
So all their franchises, right?
Yeah, I mean they structure things like that. A one-off comedy club with somebody, trying to book comedians. It's a company booking people. So
right. Yeah. That's cool.
Makes sense.
So what else is going on in this crazy world of ours? Got anything?
Kevin, how's Olivia doing with volleyball? Is she is this her tournament weekend? Right?
Tournament weekend this weekend. She just came back from spring break, so they didn't have anything then. She has a couple more tournaments for volleyball. Goes into the end of May. She'll be doing her first tennis match, I think, the end of this week.
Her first what match?
Tennis match.
Oh, is she getting into tennis too?
Yeah. No, I actually think that's next week. So yeah. It'll be next week will be the first tennis match.
Her school has spring tennis.
Yeah, spring tennis. I found out a lot of it's a lot of the more girls because she's at a small school, and a lot of those kids just double up on sports, man. Like they're literally into everything, like almost like when we were growing up. That's how their school is. But like if you talk to anybody at a bigger school, it's not like that. It's kind of crazy. They just one sport and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that you have to. Like that's
how
it's gotten. Yeah. I was actually where I play volleyball at. I was talking to a guy that his son is playing in high school, and I said, I asked if they go out, if volleyball programs are going after basketball players, because as I've played the sport and I've watched other people play, like I've just always said, like, how are these like top great college basketball players not going to this sport, or because I mean, they'd be made for it without, their eye-hand
Right.
coordination and then being able to jump and all that. And he said that a lot of kids, because it's so hard to compete in basketball and to do these travel teams and to, pay all this money to go on all these tournaments, to where kids are finding other sports like volleyball and, probably getting scholarships from it,
Yeah, because that's the thing is you can get a scholarship easier. Have
Mhm.
you seen men's volleyball in like college or
And
Olympics?
yeah, I mean, we watch Olympics. I mean, we love watching. I think it's very entertaining. But I wouldn't mind catching some, you know, IU games or Butler. I don't know if
Yeah,
Butler has a guys, but I wouldn't even mind going to some of those games because I mean, and Kevin knows he's been watching it, but
yeah. I've
it's a
been
pretty
I've been
fun game
watching
to
it here. Yeah,
watch, man.
yeah.
I
It's
mean,
awesome. Yeah,
it's
it's fun.
entertaining.
Like
It's
I would have played that. You know what I'm saying? If it was
that's
offered to us, like it's
That's
fun.
my point. Like it just wasn't anything, and when we were going through high school, but it's probably one of the most fun sports I've played. And it's amazing how sore I am.
Mm.
Yeah,
Every Sunday I play, and I am so sore for the next few days, man. It drives me crazy.
it's start stop.
I guess it's rough on the knees or something.
And all right.
Um, I do want to bring this up too. Speaking of Tim Dillon, I was listening to his podcast today, and he was talking about the metaverse. And I mean, I know we've touched on it, but like he actually was showing on his podcast, Mark Zuckerberg talking about it, and showing him picking out his outfit and all this stuff, and it just kind of hit me of more of the reality of it and how like this is without a doubt our future.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
when we run out of space, what do? You sell fake space. I mean,
yeah, and that's what Tim was talking about. Like how much money he's going to make. Like he was mad. He's basically making fun of it, but he's also making fun of it because he knows how unbelievably addicting it's going to be, and how when you get home, you literally just throw on those goggles, which in 10 years you probably won't even need
You
goggles. They'll
go
probably
into your
the,
other. You
the
go into
yeah.
your other life.
Yeah, but that's what it
Uh,
is. Like literally, you walk into the
it's
house you want,
hilarious to me,
the
man.
house that you want, which is a mansion. You can put a lake in the back. You can, you know what I'm saying? You can make it however you want, and then you see your buddy Kevin, and you see your buddy Richard over there, and you guys talk, and like it. And then so one of my thoughts today was like, okay, that's really no different than playing video games. So what are we freaking out about, right? Like it's just somebody sitting down doing something else that, involves time or that takes you out of your normal life,
mhm.
right? So there's part of me that says, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. It's just a game. But then there's the other side of me that's like, man, like you can buy off of this. Like you can literally buy stuff off of this, and it's just like how 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 good is it that you literally become a robot in the evenings or maybe all day, especially if you can find a job somehow making money off of it.
There are jobs. So there's like as a computer system administrator, there are applications now that I can use with the VR and have like
Yeah.
5 computer monitors in front of me.
Yeah.
Like I don't even need these computer monitors anymore. I just need my VR, and
That's crazy.
so yeah, they're saying that it's how a lot of some the database administration is going, like where you can virtually see like your data tables and your data sets and manipulate stuff there versus having to go into a computer and use a GUI. You just throw on your headphones, go into the database, and manipulate your stuff there.
Dude, this is going to be like when the smartphone came out.
Hmm.
Or even when computers came, like it's the evolution. It is the next step,
I
man.
think
And
it's cool. I think for me though, it's like I've kind of gotten to the ratchety old age of like it's nobody that should be is going to benefit from it. Like the only people that are really going to benefit from this are the people that don't need to be benefiting from it. Like it's just going to be the rich getting richer, the rich selling more, the rich
Mhm.
pumping up the prices more. Like that's all it's going to be. Like it's not going to be some great escape because even to have VR, you still need internet access. It's not like you're going to be a poor person. You can put on a VR headset and escape it all.
So you're saying even because that was actually my thought earlier. Like in VR, can I build a mansion, or do I need to give my
It's
VR
gonna
$100 to
I
build a
mean,
mansion?
dude, if Apple has any say in it, yeah, you're going to have to give
yeah.
$100.
It's gonna be like The Sims, right, Richard? Where I have to buy these add-ons and
You buy the pass.
like Olivia's hitting me up for $20 every. Hey, can I purchase this?
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that's what it's going to be. It's not.
yeah. I need a Coke machine in my house. Can
Yeah.
I?
Yeah.
It's $10.
Yep, and you know they're going to copyright a lot of this stuff, so you can't get a free. You can't go out and some company can't go out and make a cheaper version of it. I mean that's what this is going to be.
God,
It's going to
dude.
be people getting richer, and you know it's. I don't know. I have a hard time being excited about it because I know what it's going to be. This is what it's going to be, and then also it's not like. I mean, we haven't really benefited that much from Facebook. Like I just feel like it's just the continued downward spiral.
It's yeah. It's
Just the big
I'm
companies make the money. Yeah. Yeah.
The same
because
three or
like
four
see
companies.
it, man. I kind of battle with it because like I also see somebody comes home from work and instead of
Spending time with
drinking
their family.
themselves, drinking a bunch, or like I'm thinking about a lonely person, whatever, right? Or someone that maybe is a misfit, whatever. Now they have an option where they can go and they can just go no different than what the three of us are doing right now, where we're literally able to physically see each other.
Yeah.
Right.
It's going to be the same thing. You're just an avatar.
Maybe, but
Y-
then like because you're not wearing the right avatar outfit, you're a clown now
Yeah,
because
you're going to get made fun of.
you don't have the right helmet or you don't have dude, if you play an MMO,
Yeah.
I played World of Warcraft for a little while. And if you
Hmm.
did not have the right gear, right, you were not allowed into certain guilds. You were not allowed to play with certain people because you didn't have the correct gear. That's all this is going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're not
Just
going
like real life.
to face the same things in
Same
virtual.
problems.
Yeah.
Yep. You're going to get bullied
Hey,
on your
Richard,
VR,
what's the
bro.
movie where they're LARPing? They're LARPing,
What,
and Ken Jun is the king, and they're
so
like,
many of those.
it's Carl runs in it. He's like, you
Oh, was
can't
that
do
with
that.
Ben
You can't.
Affleck? You Ben Affleck or whatever?
It
Uh,
might. It might. Nah, it might be. Yeah,
yeah.
it's like the dude that played McLovin was in it. He's the one that's trying to beat the king.
Gosh,
And
yeah, it's
King
been
Jun's in there, and he's
yeah.
like, "No, you can't kill me. You didn't kill me right." That's what this
Oh,
reminded
yeah.
me of. What movie
Well,
is that?
I mean, because they're already talking about people complaining about being sexually assaulted on the game.
Oh yeah, I sent you
Like
guys that story. Yeah.
yeah, with females and stuff. But yeah, you're right. It's like it's supposed to be the escape. It makes you wonder if it's going to take off. I've also played the golf game and I've played ping pong with people, so
I mean,
I
the games
get
are fine. I mean, but
yeah
it's not gonna be even in the game though. Like it's not. It's always gonna be the social aspect of it. Like if
Yeah.
the thought is like we're gonna be able to go and have a good time and do whatever it is we want to do, that's I mean maybe, but
but
it's
but if they turn it to like you were just saying, where you're able to use it for work and
yeah.
it benefits and
Oh
it
yeah, that's
saves,
fine. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the thing.
There's always gonna be bad though too. Like you're sitting there talking about, it's gonna be escape for some people. Some people that are lonely, they're gonna be able to some introverts can probably express themselves on there and talk and have that conversation. Other
Yeah,
people, instead of spending time with their family, they're spending time with their other family
yeah,
on that or something like that. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
So
It's just
everything that's good, it's gonna be something bad about it.
Was it role
yeah,
models? Was that what you're talking about?
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
role models. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's
yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just I don't know, just like I said, just kind of hearing him talk about it, just like it hit me where it's like as I was watching Mark talk about, the metaverse, I
Mhm.
was like, "Oh my god, that looks so entertaining. That's so cool. You can do that. Oh, that's going to be so fun. That's going to be Oh, my kids are going to love this." And then it's like, oh wait, like this is going to suck us all in. It's going to take all of our times, all of our energy. We're
Yep.
not going to see each other. We're not going to interact.
Is it going to have parental controls on there too?
I'm sure they'll have something, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure.
That's what I would worry about more than anything.
But and then I mean, even Tim was kind of talking about this, and I've talked about this before, where it's just like it looks like it's the next step to turning us all into robots.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it is like you literally can become the robot with your eyes, and you can control that robot. And because that's what it is, right? It's just a robot on our eyes. I mean, we all carry a robot on our hands. Robots are taking our jobs right now, and everyone's okay with it. Because it's cool. It's cool that certain devices can do specific jobs or whatever. But it's I don't know, man. These next 20 years, it's going to be interesting.
Next 10.
Yeah, for real. That's the other thing too. It's happening so fast, Oh well, what do you do?
What you guys think about Elon Musk purchasing some Twitter?
Well, he's got like 9% stake. He has like the highest. He's the single person that has the highest stake in Twitter now.
Yeah.
We were talking about that a little bit at work today. I thought that was interesting because especially with Twitter like silencing so many people, and if Elon has a say, like I would think that would stop,
I think that's his intent. He only has like 10% of the share though, so it's not like he doesn't even have an overwhelming say. But I feel like he does. He might. I mean, he could slowly start purchasing more, right? I mean, this could be a start for him.
Didn't he pay like $3 billion?
Yeah, it was quite a bit. Yep.
And he's only 9. He's only 9% owner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how much money does Twitter make? That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's a worldwide. I mean, people don't understand. It's a worldwide economy situation, right?
Yeah.
It's like billions of people are on this platform. It's not
so crazy. And all it is just sending out a comment, just letting my voice be heard. Here's a tweet. Here's a tweet. Here's an article that I'm sharing to anyone that cares. But I mean, it makes sense. We're curious creatures. We want to know the opinions of other people. We want to know maybe their upbringing or backgrounds or, it's just, and then we were kind of talking about this today too, where it's just like, I think we're slowly getting, so we went to the point where it's just like, it's easy to find the truth because we have the internet, right? I don't know, just Google it. But I've heard other people talk about where it's like, yeah, Richard's already making the face. It doesn't feel that way anymore. Well, hold on. You Googled it. Well, who was the source? Who wrote it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, do you know that source is backed by this person and that person, right? And it just like, and that's how the businesses have used to get us. And
right? I mean, it started with politics, right? I mean, how do you attack your who you're going against? You sprinkle in some bad news about them. You make sure people know that they're a racist or they're a homophobe or they believe in this and that, and now it's a problem. It's like, I mean, I just think people just need to learn, to shut up. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't. I mean, I don't use it because I just stopped caring. Like, it doesn't.
Yeah,
it's too much.
It doesn't benefit you. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't. I think by and large it doesn't benefit anybody.
Well, I mean, I think it does as long as you don't get caught up in the bull crap, right? It's like we've said before.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're getting on Facebook to see what your friends are doing and have friendly conversations and have some laughs, it's wonderful. It's the best tool in the world. I'm so thankful for it. I really am for that part. Yeah. But if you want to get on there and listen, if you want to get on there and debate topics with people, I think that's great too. But in the end, maybe have a phone call conversation, talk it out. Don't unfriend someone because you have a disagreement upon whatever, and that's unfortunately what it becomes. Or you get sucked into specific groups, and then you just, and like we've talked about before, everybody is so tribal, You know, we love to find people that think like us, act like us, and believe like us,
Mhm.
and
Right.
that fuels us and that feeds us and that makes you
It
feel right
make you feel
about
like you're
your
right. Yeah.
decisions. And that's all we're trying to do, man. And that's and a lot of that is what social media is. It's, you know, I'm gonna send out this tweet so 800 people will like it and 20 won't, and I'm gonna be pissed off about the 20 that don't like it, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna fight with them. Oh man, it's so I never got into Twitter. I mean, I always kind of did the Facebook thing, but like I said, I've always kind of used it
That's all. Yes.
for friends. But
Yeah.
even
I
I
do
don't.
that too, but it was like it just outweighed it. And like, man, everybody I want to, I talk to anyways. Outside of like, I don't need this Facebook.
Yeah,
Like, I
Right.
group chat with all my friends. Like,
yeah,
I have a few group chats set up, so it's like we
yeah,
all talk on that, and
yeah,
I don't need the garbage. I don't need that. I just think that whenever you introduce the human element to anything, like we wreck it for ourselves.
We'll mess it up.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But is it because we're all just different? Like we're all, like we've talked about,
We don't
just
communicate well. That's one of it.
Well, I think there's a difference in language barrier, but at the same time, it's just people in general just have a lack of control. Like I mean, just shut up. Like you don't need to spout out every single one of your thoughts at all the time. You know, I just
but it's that approval.
much.
It's like I just said. It's that I want someone to agree with me, so I get very vocal. You
Yeah.
know,
Do,
and
do
if
you
you
guys
don't,
also think that like everybody thinks it's cool to be opinionated now too?
I
Yeah.
think people. Yeah, go
And
ahead.
You
I
know what I'm
think
saying?
I think that and people like to tear shit down, right?
Yeah,
Whenever we see somebody doing well, within a week, a tweet happens about that person having said
yeah,
something racist a week. I mean, I know we bring him up quite a bit, but let's take Kevin Hart for example. He finally got his dream of hosting the Oscars. His
yes,
dream had come true, and not
yep,
even 48 hours later,
yep,
somebody had to tear it down for him.
yeah, yep,
Whenever anybody gets that goal of what they've wanted, I feel like it's just a shit system, and
yeah,
people enjoy using it all as a weapon.
yeah,
And it's not just that too, and it's the weapon of tearing each other down. It's the weapon of misinformation. It's the instability. It's created by far, I think, way more mental issues than anything.
yeah,
It's too much. And just on the topic of VR is how this all got started. It's not going to help. So now
yeah.
I can see you and bully you. Now I can see you and bully you. Like it's not.
Or not see you. I
Yeah.
don't know what you look like, but I'm still gonna bully you. You
Right.
know, I don't like your shirt that you picked for your avatar, so I'm still gonna make fun of you. So, you know,
Dude,
I know when you came home from school, you thought you was gonna escape that, but
So
no, it's yeah.
so when
yeah.
you guys log into this, is it under your Facebook account? Like you can't? Are you anonymous?
Under Meta
Uh,
is
yeah, yeah, that's the thing. So it is connected to my
it,
Facebook
it
page.
is Facebook. Yeah. Yeah. And I think too, Blake, the one thing that always signals me about this, the most people that are the most excited about this, right, are the people that have money. They're excited about it because they know they're going to be able to invest more money and make more money. Like
See, I haven't heard enough. See, that's the thing. Like, I don't know how big the metaverse is. Like, you know, like I mean, I have an Oculus for crying out loud. I mean, you have to have an Oculus to even partake in the
Access.
metaverse, right?
Yeah.
I,
Mhm.
I mean, and I haven't. Like, I know that I can apparently get into rooms, and I can apparently even see people do stand up comedy. Like, there's a whole world behind those goggles that I haven't.
You sound like a commercial for this.
I mean, dude, but I mean, that's the thing. Like, that's what's scary is like I have it. I have it right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about this metaverse where it's like in all reality, I guess I
All I
could.
do is play ping pong on it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to play some ping pong, you know, and trying to win a match from time to time and play some golf. And now it's like I can go watch, you know, like I said, stand up comedy. I can go watch TV shows. I can, you know, like it's crazy, man. Like it's cool. It's cool. It's beyond cool, you know, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that aspect of it is cool. Like I don't begrudge that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, I think that kind of stuff is kind of cool. It's like it'd be kind of fun to throw on an NBA game, and you guys have headsets too, and we all be connected. And
That's
Well, I
awesome.
thought this was how it was going to be like 10 years ago when VR first came out. It sounds like they're just now getting to where they would want to be, and now you have the social aspect to it.
mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, what you just said, Richard, I think is literally next year. Me, you, and Kevin are sitting on the front row of an
See
NBA Finals
UFC
game,
or something like
and
that.
we're
Yeah.
watching it.
Yeah,
Like, who says
Or
no to
watching
that?
Mania or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I mean, I think that'd be kind of cool. I think for me, I just kind of doubt it because how long until they start charging exorbitant amounts of that, right? And they say, okay, if you want to sit front row, you have to pay $500. But
yep,
if you want to sit back row, just pay $10 and you'll be way up here and you can see.
yeah,
people.
you're right. They will.
It's just, man, humankind is just gonna, just they're just gonna keep fucking each other over as much as they can.
So,
Oh yeah,
So-
it'll start off good.
so what you're telling me is once nobody has jobs, and we have to stay at home, and we're not
We're all
spending
working
money in the
from
real world, we're gonna be spending money in the fake world,
Yeah.
and we're all just gonna remain broke.
Yeah.
And the rich keep getting richer.
Yeah, that's all this is. It's just,
I know.
it's just,
It's
yeah.
so encouraging.
That's why I see a therapist. I just like, man,
I think I'm beginning to think I need one.
it's good for you just get your feelings out. Like it's good. It's good for you.
Oh, I think we've done marriage and counseling and stuff before. I always tell people, like, if nothing else, man, it's just good to go talk to somebody and not get interrupted. You know, it's just you
Absolutely.
know? Yeah, it makes you fight fairly a little bit. You know?
Right. Yeah.
You're right.
So, well, that's cool. Yeah, it's I don't know, man. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I hate to be like a shithead about it, but you see where everything is. You see where it's going.
Yeah.
You see the greed just continuing to go. You see all
Yeah.
the prices going up. And it's like,
Richard, did you ever get an Oculus? I know you were looking at them.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't get a face. I had to get a Facebook account. I was like, I just
Okay. And you're
cannot
like,
do
no.
it. Yeah. I just,
Yeah, that'd be the interesting thing if that becomes a thing where it's like you can get a different version where you don't have to have Facebook.
I'm sure.
And it, like, I mean, I'm sure Apple's gonna come out with one or something, like,
Mhm.
and make it Apple friendly to where all the Apple people go there instead of, I mean,
Facebook World.
Apple
Instead
could
of
do
Facebook
it.
World, it's Apple World.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Like I'm looking at the new PlayStation 1 when that comes out. I might grab that one. I don't know. It's just
Is it becoming too real for you?
I mean, I had the old PlayStation 1 and it was fine, but it just didn't really do it for me. I just was like, you know what? I prefer to just kind of sit on a couch with a controller and kind of play a game, listening to a podcast or something. The cool aspect was being able to watch a movie on it, like you're in a theater. That was pretty dope. I enjoy stuff like that, but the Oculus one kind of interested me because you could actually link up with other players and play games, and there seemed to be like a lot of fitness stuff in there. I was looking at some of the fitness stuff. That was my main goal. Like, it might be kind of just something, to switch things up every once in a while. Maybe a week I'll do Oculus instead of weights. Speaking of which, man, I think I either strained or tore my bicep really bad. A couple of weeks ago. I went to the doctor and she was like, "Yeah, don't lift weights for a few weeks because it's like it could probably rip off the bone."
Dang, bro, relax, rock.
I know. I was trying to get jacked. Went a little bit too hard on some curls, I think, and I kept working out for a few weeks, like with it, like just thinking, it's just sore, just, it never went away. So I went to the doctor and she was like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to calm down. You gotta calm down."
Man. That happens, man. That's the thing when you get into, I mean, it's, doing anything. It's funny you say that. There was a guy I play volleyball with, and he literally just reached out to hit a ball and tore something in his arm, and it's just on the simplest of things. Just anything can happen.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just glad it didn't happen closer to Tough Mudder because then I'd been really screwed.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah, that
pull
would
yourself
sucked.
up on one arm. Never fear. Jared got us, man.
That's
Jared's
right,
taking
bro.
us to the promised land.
Jared, I got moves, man. I got moves.
I hope Jared's ready to have a sore back the next day because he's carrying us all. Like we're all.
Facts.
He's gonna
Yeah,
be
We
like
all,
Yeah.
he's gonna
we're
be
all
like that
gonna,
dude at WrestleMania and just hopefully
yeah,
a quad.
yeah, we're all gonna be sore. That's for sure.
Yeah, I kind of wonder about it. Like I'm just like, is it really gonna be that hard?
Yeah,
Because it
I-
has to appeal to the masses, right? You can't like be like, this is really hard. Only
It
like
has to appeal to casuals too, right?
yeah, but I mean, I'm sure it'll be a challenge, right? I'm sure it'll be challenging, and I'm sure we'll be tired. But I'm like, I don't
how
know.
yeah, I keep thinking how miserable am I going to be, but everyone talks about how fun it is.
Yeah.
And it's not like
Yeah.
they'll say like it's hard, but it's not that hard. Like
Yeah.
just don't stop, just keep going.
Well,
You know, so
I think that and the fact that Blake's gonna grill out for us afterwards, right?
hell yeah, yeah, we should do that.
I mean, we'll
Hey,
be down
I'll tell you what.
anyways.
Get some steak.
Oh man, we'd probably puke. I would say like it'd be cool if I could like
Steaks.
smoke a pork butt throughout the night or something, and then bring it with me and we eat it afterwards. But
Oh no, we won't be feeling like eating.
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think we
like
go to your
ramen.
house and then just just smash.
That's
it.
cool. Yeah,
Smash
well,
some steaks.
it'd be cool if that was a UFC night or something.
You should look that
It
up.
might be.
Oh wait, what is it? Yeah, it's on a Saturday, right?
Yes, sir.
Dude, that'd be dope.
Yes, sir.
It might be.
August 6th. I think that's my.
It's gonna be.
Is that my daughter's
It's gonna be-
birthday?
It's gonna be Usman
I think
versus
you mentioned it
Covington.
being
8.
around her birthday. I like you're like, is that my daughter's?
I can't remember, bro. I got too many. I don't do well with birthdays.
Right? Which one is
Dude,
it?
that is Addie's birthday.
Oh well,
There you
never
go.
mind then. I guess we
August 6th.
we shouldn't interfere.
Yeah, just come on over after the.
Yeah,
I'll be having a
we'll have
birthday
people over
party that
anyway.
night.
We shouldn't interfere with that. So.
Crap, Nika's gonna be so mad.
Well, you told her you were doing it, and you said it's fine since it's at noon, and you'd be ready at night.
Yeah, you did. You had this conversation
I'm-
already.
Yeah, we've
I
had
know. I think I kind of forgot when I booked it. Maybe I don't know. August 6th, huh?
Yeah.
Tough Mudder. Well, sorry, babe.
Hey,
Speaking of
be like
birthdays,
me and send reminders out. That's all you can do.
speaking of birthdays, somebody has a birthday tomorrow.
Whew.
Don't say who.
Come on, bro. The dude that we can barely see right now because it's getting darker out.
Foudy.
40? Is
40?
that 40?
40. Yeah.
Dang,
You made it.
The Fort
our boy finally made it to the 40 club.
I know, man.
Well, happy birthday,
now
buddy.
These grades are official.
Yeah,
Official.
we the 40 club.
What's
man.
you got anything planned? Did Amy was that your Xbox you got for your birthday, or that was Christmas, wasn't it?
Xbox was Christmas. I bought myself a lawnmower for my 40th birthday.
Did you buy electric?
I don't know what they got planned for me.
Wow.
But,
Did you get an electric lawnmower? Is that what you just asked?
Yeah.
no, I didn't get I got a gas lawnmower.
You didn't get that Elon Musk one?
I
No,
got
I didn't get. I had a long debate. Like it took me like 3 weeks to buy a mower because I was debating between electric or gas.
dude.
There's so many electric ones.
I love my electric mower, dude. Just push the button.
Everybody
and-
keeps saying how. So I keep hearing some people say it doesn't have enough power. And
no,
other people are just saying how quiet it is.
it's so quiet, and it's nothing like just
crazy.
pushing the button and it just goes. Like you don't have to jerk the stupid
Right.
chain. You don't have to worry about oil, no gas. I have I bought 3 electric things. I bought the lawnmower, the weed eater, and a snow shovel, all electric, and they all use the
Snow
same-
shovel?
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
all use the same battery, right? So I have 3 batteries. So as I'm mowing, if a battery runs out, I just pop in a new one and just keep going.
That is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you go to any hardware store right now, they on stock they probably have 75% electric.
It makes sense, man. I mean, it sucks carrying around a cord and of course, lawnmower is not like
and
that. but
honestly,
just-
a lot of them are cheaper to buy than the gas.
really?
Yeah.
Then you just gotta worry about the batteries running out and all that. But
Yeah.
I mean,
I
shoot.
would do like Richard said. I would have multiple.
do the
batteries.
same brand.
Get you the same
Yeah.
brand for everything. Every time you buy one, you get a new battery. And so
What's the
yeah.
brand you got?
Cobalt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I figured. Yeah.
Close.
Yeah, I bought a Honda mower probably 5 or 6 years ago. So I'm gonna, and I literally bought a Honda just because I was like, oh, this thing will last forever.
Yeah.
So hopefully it
My
does.
Honda one, that's what mine was. It was, I got it in '06, and it just went out
Really?
this last summer. Yeah,
I mean, dude, you talk about, worth your money. So,
yeah, that's a bang.
well, that's cool.
But I mean, that gets me scared about buying a car. So it's like, hey, everything you see is electric, dude.
I know.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think Dodge is going full electric 2024.
Really?
Man, that's crazy. So quickly.
That's my brand right now too. Is Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep. So it's just like,
Yeah, that's what I've had for
Yeah.
my last few cars, Jeep
yeah,
and
the
Charger.
last 3 or 4 vehicles we've had have been that.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
just where it's going. It's not. It just. The problem is this need to rely on other countries for stuff. It's just got to go. Like it's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's you can't continue to go to war and see these countries.
I
do
will say
shit.
that was my favorite thing about Trump is that part.
Yeah, just self-reliance.
Yeah,
I-
I mean,
It's so
it's a no brainer. It's a no brainer.
Yeah,
like I know Elon has people around him, but it's just crazy how one individual can literally change the way we're doing life. Like, I mean, just
yeah.
not in a snap of finger. I know it takes time, but I mean, even with Facebook and all that stuff, even that's changed. Twitter has changed. I mean, all that's helped social media and all that. It's just crazy how it's just one idea literally captivates everybody or completely changes people's opinions and you just start. I mean, we're all considering an electric car right now.
Yeah.
Like,
But
because
I
we
mean,
know
it honestly
we know
makes
it's
sense. Even
changed.
even the mower thing, like there's more people, there's less resources.
Yeah.
We need to, you know what I'm saying? We need to use the resources that we can use for this.
Yeah, or if you're going to make me pay $5 a gallon for gas, then I am going to buy everything electric.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
For sure.
it's crazy. All right, boys, let's wrap it up.